Hey, Bobby, go ahead.
Hey, what's up, Bobby? You guys rock, but you got to stop playing that Tsunami song. I was up all night, and at 4 o'clock in the morning, I'm staring at the ceiling. As I lie there, the melody going over and over in my head. I wanted to strangle you guys.
You know what? We're going to play the Tsunami song.
No.
And we're going to give you the Tsunami update.
The Tsunami update. Are they fired yet?
They're suspended. I'm very suspicious. I'm wondering... Well, we'll get into it next, but I'm wondering if the company's going to try to ride this one out.
They could
which
try,
would be a brilliant move, by the way, but I just don't know if they have the balls to do it.
Not after tomorrow. There's going to be some kind of press conference.
Yeah, why don't we take a really quick break, and we'll give you the Tsunami update, because this is a soap opera. This storyline's coming and going.
Morning, Jimmy.
Hi, guys.
It was pretty funny. Herky Jerky Ben comes in here. I just woke up Jimmy, and Jimmy's like, ugh! I did it again!
Do you know how awful it is to get a phone call and hear Ecstasy of the Gold playing in the background?
You just know you're not making it on time.
And the best is sometimes you will mess with Ben, you know, and you'll be in the elevator as Ben's calling you, but this was legit today.
Yeah, he knew it, too.
How are we supposed to call this show Norton and Friends if you can't even start Norton and Friends?
Friends.
I got no excuses. I went to bed last night at 11:30, and I got 2 hours of sleep before that. I got my sleep.
You know what image I have in my head? Ecstasy of Gold playing, and Norton running like Tuco through the cemetery, just running to the station.
You know how hard it is to put a sock on while you're holding an electric toothbrush in your mouth?
You can't call the show Norton and Friends if there's going to be Ecstasy of Gold and then 25 minutes of dead air while you get to the station.
I know, but maybe the spin is that Norton likes to let his friends shine for a while.
Oh, his friends show up first and wait for Norton on the stoop.
Dude, check this out, by the way. Look at my hair.
It looks good.
Showered the night before.
It's starting to flatten out.
Doing that now.
I started showering the night before.
Ripping me off. I did that first. I was the one who showered first.
Of course, you've done everything.
I'm a pioneer.
First. Of course you are. We know it. You've done everything first.
I'm talking about people that weren't forced into the shower. I voluntarily went and took a shower.
Yeah,
I pioneered showering before work.
All right, should we play the Tsunami song and then give the update?
Well, I personally am outraged at this song, Opie. I'm outraged. I am calling for the immediate dismissal of that program. They've been taken off the air, suspended indefinitely, is what the news stories are saying, and they included the names of everybody in the story.
And we've been kind of dragged into it.
Do we have that one? Yeah.
It's gonna get worse than this, folks. But
we said it was going to involve us at some point.
The suspended employees included Miss Jones, Miss Info.
Miss Info got suspended also?
Yeah.
She was the one that said she didn't want to be involved.
Right.
She was against this thing. She got in a big argument with Miss Jones about not being involved in it, and they suspended her also?
Yeah. We got audio of her yelling and screaming that she didn't want to be part of it. She's Asian and just thought she just wasn't into it, and they all yelled and jumped on her. And basically wanted her to leave the show for not supporting the entire morning show.
She's Asian.
Hey, didn't that guy also criticize her in his rap? Didn't he say something about Miss Info or something like that?
No, he was
praising her.
Yeah,
he did. Okay.
He praised her, going, "You go, Miss Info. You keep your head up, ma," or whatever he said.
Yuck.
That was one of the worst raps I've ever heard, by the way, yesterday. Let's see. That's why you got to listen to the show every day. I mean, it's to that point because it's an ongoing soap opera. Yeah. We don't need to replay the audio of them fighting, right?
No.
Okay. So the suspended employees included Miss Jones, Miss Info, DJ Envy, Todd Lynn, who we've seen at the Comedy Cellar many, many times, and producer Rick Delgado, former producer for the Opie and Anthony show.
All right. Rick.
It has begun.
You made the paper, Rick.
It has begun. So then, I'm suspicious. I'm on the fence now. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to get fired, Anthony. I just don't know.
I would think, I think they are going to get fired. You know something? This is funny. This is exactly what happens when we get in trouble. Opie starts calling me up going, I don't know, you think we're going to skate this one? I think we might be okay. And I'm the one going, no, Opie, we are fired, so fired, completely fired.
Yeah, you're usually better at that than I.
I'm seeing this as the pressure's mounting. This hasn't blown over yet. It's one of these things where now there's going to be a press conference demonstration tomorrow with, they got his name up here? Yeah, councilman from Queens, John Liu. He's going to be out there at 11 o'clock tomorrow morning in front of Hot 97 protesting and having a press conference. That's bad.
That's bad.
That's bad. This guy's not going to let this go. Did you ever hear of John Liu, Democrat from Queens?
Nah, he's taking advantage of this as well.
Never heard of him before. You're not going to hear from him after. So he's going to use this to keep his name in the news. That's why he's having a press conference tomorrow. Why didn't you have it today?
This is his Tawana Brawley.
Right. There you go.
Of
his
course.
Big cause. So he's going to be out there, and he's not going to be happy until they're fired. And you know what radio stations do. They make these little guys, these little jerk-offs happy.
Right.
By booting shows out the door.
It also is saying in the latest article on this, MS Radio President Rick Cummings called it morally and socially indefensible. All involved, myself included, are ashamed and deeply sorry. Little known fact, Rick Cummings, Howard, was in discussions with Anthony and I about doing a little something. So
Yeah, how about that?
So you could keep claiming that we were unhireable and that we're done on commercial radio, if that's what you want to believe. Anyway, you want to play the song?
I can never get enough of this song. It's an outrage.
It's an outrage because
so
it's just awful.
It is an awful song parody. There's no rhyming. It doesn't really stay true to the original.
Look, we're not going to claim to be innocent here. But
we've penned some pretty awful song parodies.
I would have never played this on our show.
No, it's just not good.
We would have listened to this, you and I, like we do on a daily basis, and said, you know what? It's just, try again.
Yeah.
We would have said probably, try again.
Or if someone else wrote it and sent it in, you mean? We probably would have played it and gone, oh, this is just horrible. This is just a bad parody.
And they're a bunch of pussies over there because they have no problem saying chinks in the song.
Yeah.
But then they say African Americans.
Africans.
Why didn't you say niggers?
Africans. No.
Why didn't you say niggers?
Because that's a derogatory term.
You guys are so brave. Why not?
Right.
But you have no problem saying chinks.
Chinks. Yeah. You're going to use racial slurs. Fill the song up with them.
We would have.
Right.
We would have. Mm-hmm. Even if we were black.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me think about that. I would not be a party to this show if I was black. Would be hanging out with you racists.
So here's the song, and then we got some O'Reilly comments, and then we'll move on from this.
Bill O'Reilly made some comments. I'm sure.
Dude,
I'm sure he's defending them.
I give the morning team a lot of credit. Everyone's talking about them, but I don't know. You say they're definitely fired.
I say definitely they will be fired.
I think they're still weighing their options right now, seeing if they could weather this storm.
The only reason they're not fired yet is the station itself and upper management are having discussions on who they're going to put in there, how they're going to spin this when they do fire them. Contractually, what are they obligated to pay these people? All that kind of stuff. The decision's already made. They are gone. It is made already. The only delay is logistics. That's it. I've seen this too many times.
So when they get fired,
yeah,
that's when we will definitely enter the story.
Yeah.
Other shock jocks that got fired for doing stupid things.
Oh, the Fox will call us and want us to comment on what it's like. You
Good
get
old
fired, blah, blah, blah.
Good old Neil Cavuto will be calling again.
Yeah.
Neil Cavuto wants us on his show so bad to talk about this crap. Mm-hmm. What are we going to say?
Donnie Deutsch will call up again.
Yeah, could you retape your interview now that the one you did's old?
Yeah. You watch the CBS morning show when they come in and interview us. That's going to be probably a big part of what they talk about.
Probably.
That's cool they're coming in Monday.
We'll go, yeah. No, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, when Rich Voss is filling in for Jimmy Norton.
That's great. We're gonna want to have an intellectual discussion on the FCC and the tsunami song and the repercussions, and there'll be, that was stupid. I wouldn't use chinks like they did. I would use it in a different way.
Yeah, Droopy Jaw is gonna mess it up for everybody.
Oh. He really will. His awful political opinions. Dude, the FCC is full of liberals. Yeah, that's what it is. Good point.
Did you see my Star of David tattoo? Did you put that on the news?
We always argue, like, you know how I feel about the left. They annoy me. But let's be honest, the FCC is conservative right now. It's right. The conservatives are bad on censorship. The left is annoying. But and we'll argue this, and he'll go, no, the liberals are worst. I'm like, the Parents Television Council is 99% of it. He's like, no, they're liberals.
Tree huggers.
The reality is the FCC is a pain in the ass, but if you have any talent doing a radio show, you learn how to work around it.
There you go.
And Anthony and I have always worked around it for 10 years now. And companies never officially paid a fine because of something we did. They did pay that fine for a lot of incidents.
Yeah, it was like all the Infinity stuff us lumped in
but
with
it
the
wasn't.
Howard
It was never
violation.
proven that we were guilty of what we did.
Convicted? No, never convicted.
Is that a technicality, you think?
Yeah.
You really think so?
I think it's
They would have
kind of-
never found us guilty of that.
I think it's a little
Anthony.
rationalizing, but the truth of the matter is, yeah, it was never one of those, pay this fine for what they said, all right, we'll pay the fine.
People were outraged, but you can't fine us because the sentence, he's doing the balloon knot, made it on the
Right.
air. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You just can't. That's not what the FCC is about. You just can't.
No.
right, well,
language-wise, that broadcast was fine.
Here's the awful, awful song.
All right, let's listen.
And as a news program, we're allowed to play it so we could comment on how awful this is.
I'm disgusted. The lack of talent.
Featuring Rick Delgado, former producer of the Opie and Anthony program.
He's the one singing with all his heart.
Singing his balls off.
They're so bad at singing, too, this crew.
Makes me laugh every time when he kicks in.
And you could hear God laughing, swim, you bitches, swim.
Oh, they quoted that one all week. Sing it, Rick.
Go find your mom. Can't find my mommy.
No one's upset that he's making Michael Jackson pedophile allegations.
Help you, all you kids, we love you.
Oof.
Oy.
What a bad parody.
It's just bad, right?
The singing's awful. There's no rhyming, no format. It's just awful.
It's so bad, but we really enjoy playing.
It really got stuck in your head, the tune, though. Da-da-da-da.
So then, this is the official statement from MS Broadcasting.
All right. It's Hot 97, the official #1 station for hip-hop and R&B. My name is Ebro. And 6:03. The Miss Jones Morning Show has been suspended indefinitely due to the content of the Tsunami song and its bad taste. They have been suspended indefinitely. We'll be taking your phone calls. Anything that you would like to talk about, we'll get it on this morning. If you're upset about the song, about the song's content, we'll get that on this morning. That's what we're here for. It's Hot 97. We also have a song from the rapper Jin coming at this radio station.
Coming at it.
False sincerity, by the way.
And that's what hip-hop is about.
It is.
So Jin will have his opportunity in his song to express how he feels.
This guy makes me puke. That's such false sincerity. He doesn't give a crap that the morning show was suspended.
No.
He probably supports them, but his role now is to go on the air and sound really, really sincere that this was a bad thing, and take a lot of phone calls, people yelling and screaming about how awful the song was, even though most of the people that will call in never heard the song, by the way. That is such fake sincerity. I've never heard faker sincerity in my life.
Rev from Whackbag saying, after hearing it a few times, I think Miss Jones was trying to dodge a bullet with some of the lyrics. Her line, "There were Africans drowning," sounded so forced in there. You think maybe she would put that line in there? Because, like, look, see, we're making fun of our own people, too.
Possible, because I didn't remember hearing about a lot of Africans, unless one of them is one of those places on the continent of Africa. I don't even.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, what? All right.
Yeah.
Shows you how much I know.
Yeah, there were a couple of countries that got some of the tsunami in Africa.
God bless Hot 97. They're taking advantage of this situation, and they're running with it. But, get a guy that's a better actor. That guy could care less.
Better actor. Like Rich Vaughn.
Right. Guy could care less.
I'm outraged.
A lot of people were outraged, and we'll be taking your calls, and you could express your feelings, because that's what hip-hop is all about.
Anytime someone says,
Shut up.
That's what hip-hop's all about, it's absolutely not what it's about. Jesus. I thought it was about, like, a bunch of guys driving around in big SUVs with the windows tinted, throwing their guns in the gun traps when the cops pull them over, and shooting people in front of automotive museums and in Vegas. Isn't that what it's about?
In the end, it's just music.
Right.
Let's calm down. It's just music. It may have came from a place where they're talking about their neighborhoods and the streets and stuff, but most of the rappers out today, they're so removed from their past environment. It's not even funny.
It's about a lot of anger. There's racism. There's sexism, violence. That seems to me what hip hop is all about. You know, all the really good hip hop songs, the popular ones, the ones that people remember, are really about awful things.
No, hip hop is about the booty.
The booty?
It's about the booty.
It's about the booty.
And it's about the bling. Mm-hmm. And that's about it.
Killing cops was a pretty popular subject a few years back. I used to love listening to NWA and Ghetto Boys.
It's not about being
fun
polite
stuff. And that was really hardcore, you know?
It's not apologetic at all or pandering.
No.
Right.
That's what it's all about. Not getting the community together and helping. Just stop it. Stop.
It's angry. Like when you hear like Will Smith, man, like sometimes like Girls of the World, that guy would come at you, man. Like, whoa.
Getting jiggy with it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Nah. He was very hardcore.
Getting jiggy with it.
Way to pick a current song, you idiot.
I would have to lunge and turn the volume down because I didn't want any kids hearing that.
There may be a better example of maybe a song that came out in the last decade.
Who knows?
Jesus.
It's like Jimmy's going to know.
I know. It's just funny to hear.
You hear that, though, you'd be afraid he was going to break into your house and knit an Afghan with your grandmother. Yuck.
All right. Bill O'Reilly.
You know, that too legit to quit. Why don't you get a current song like that?
Well, you said getting jiggy with it. I just said, I said Girls of the World.
Yeah.
I really am an ass. That was when I was still drinking back in like '86. And he actually changed the lyrics, by the way, of that. It used to be, I hit her with a trash can and ran like hell. And then he changed it to like, so that I handed her my wallet and ran like hell.
Of course he changed it.
Ugh.
All right, well, here's Bill O'Reilly last night.
Bill O'Reilly.
Robert Reeves, Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I found that radio parody of the tsunami victims disgusting. It amazes me that a hip-hop station would create such a racist song. Christy Petty, Johnsburg, Illinois. Bill, I think the idiots who created the song are very wrong. However, being a fool isn't against the law. Chris Howard, Salt Lake City, Utah. I agree that there should be limits to what you broadcast on the public airways, but whom do I trust to monitor that? Not the government. Christine Lofton, Greenfield, Indiana. As Asians, my mother and I were deeply offended by the song. Those involved should get fired.
Deeply offended. You never heard the song.
No.
You might have heard a quick clip on the news.
Read a transcript, which is even worse when they put it on the screen with the quotes. And you got to read on CNN, screaming chinks, and know that Rick Delgado's pen wrote that.
But it was like, what is this obsession people have with silencing what they don't like? It's like when Ice-T sang Cop Killer, I thought it was an awful song, and it was rude and vicious, and I'm very pro-cop, but I didn't want him for one minute not to be able to have it played on the radio or not be able to sell his, or want him in trouble for it.
A lot of people did, though. A lot of people came out against that one.
Absolutely, but I disagreed with them. It's like, you can't censor what somebody says, man. It's unpopular speech has to be protected. I'm sorry.
Right. Absolutely.
Of course.
But the difference is, when you work for a radio station, it's their decision. It's management's decision whether they want that type of material on their station. So it really doesn't come down to a freedom of speech issue. Right. They do have the freedom to play that song, to voice that, but it's the station's prerogative to fire them.
You're right. What I'm saying is this obsession people have with wanting it silenced.
Right.
Like, that's what bothers me, is people who say they're offended by. I never have wanted anybody to not be able to say what they want on the radio. There's never been a song that I was so offended by I didn't want played.
And I don't think for a minute that management wanted them fired because of the content of that song. Yeah. It's the pressure from these people that you're talking about that want this all nice and milk toasty.
You know, the reality, a lot of people talk about the FCC these days. When I'm sitting here doing a radio show with you guys, what I worry about is not the FCC anymore. I just don't. We understand. Well, and obviously we're on satellite, but even if we were on commercial, I don't worry about the FCC as much as I worry about the company that we're working for.
Right.
Because in the end, they're going to be the ones that destroy our careers again.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be the FCC. It's going to be, some bigwigs and, I have to say because we're here now, but XM Satellite is going to have a problem with something we do. It's going to snowball, and next thing you know, we're going to get fired because it's too much of a hassle to keep us.
Pressure from
It's not going to be the FCC. It's just not.
Nope.
People are focusing on the wrong thing. If you're talented in radio, you could do a radio show and keep the FCC out of your hair. But you got to worry about the bigger issue, which is these huge corporations that own the station you work at.
You say something a little racially insensitive, sexist, homophobic. Things like that. That's the stuff that gets you in trouble now.
Right.
It's not the cursing. It's not the sexual content because, quite frankly, we could say whatever we want as far as that's concerned.
Right.
But you start getting people getting very sensitive when it comes to their race and religion, things like that.
Yeah, the reality is these guys should not be fired. We were just, what I want to say was it's not an FCC issue, basically.
No, it's not an FCC issue.
They shouldn't be fired because, this is against the FCC. The FCC will stay out of this because there's nothing there.
Should be fired because that song stinks.
There you go. Get a show that has a little more talent.
Jesus.
Like LL Cool J said back when he did radio.
Boy.
Yeah. Tsunami, da, da, da. Watch that tree go through her head.
We're drowning in Indonesia. Little chinks are floating by. Drowning in Indonesia.
Oh, little babies washing up on the rocks. Ain't no big surprise. They're all drowning with their slanty eyes.
The wave hit so hard you knocked right out of your blue jeans. Horrible. I wish I knew more of his stupid songs.
Yeah. Very cute.
What's another one of his songs, Eric?
Yeah.
Which one?
Oh.
Cracklin' Rosie? Yeah. All right.
Uh-oh, hope there's not a big protest outside.
Oh, look out the window. Watch it.
500 people being angry, and you can't tell by their expressions.
All right.
He sounds angry. I don't know.
Let them be angry if they want to be angry.
I know.
What the hell?